My name is Jonah Kade, and the smallest thing I ever underestimated was a cat. By the time I arrived in Italy, I had learned how to disappear in plain sight. That's what the job required, not invisibility, but normality. I lived in a narrow building with peeling paint and neighbors who argued loudly and loved deeply. The kind of place where nobody locks their doors properly, and everyone knows too much about everyone else. Perfect. I collected scrap metal in the mornings, bent wire, broken appliances, things nobody wanted. People don't ask questions about men who deal in waste. At night, I listened. Walls are thin when secrets are heavy. My job was simple. Observe, record, pass it on. I wasn't stealing documents or breaking into offices. I didn't need to. People tell you everything when they think you don't matter. A neighbor complained about his work over dinner. Another drank too much and talked about schedules he shouldn't have known. I memorized patterns, routes, names. Information doesn't scream. It leaks. The cat belonged to the woman upstairs. Gray, old, one ear torn slightly at the edge. It had learned the building better than any of us. It slept on stairwells, windowsills, sometimes right outside my door. At first, I ignored it. Then I noticed something strange. The cat was always there when I made my calls. Not inside, just close enough, watching. Animals notice rhythms before humans do. They notice tension, stillness, changes in air. I stopped stepping over it. I started waiting for it to leave. That's how it starts, not with big mistakes, but adjustments. I delayed calls, changed routes, altered timing. I became careful. Careful is expensive. One evening, the cat followed me downstairs, sat at the entrance as I left. Its eyes didn't blink. I remember thinking how ridiculous it was, being unsettled by something that small. That night, I repeated a phrase during a call. Just once. I shouldn't have. A week later, a man I had never seen before knocked on my door. Plain clothes, polite smile, Italian accent too perfect to be local. Routine, he said. They always say that. I answered calmly, offered coffee, gave him exactly what he expected to see. When he left, the cat was sitting across the hallway, waiting. After that, things shifted. Neighbors lingered too long in shared spaces. Someone asked questions they had never asked before. Another suddenly stopped talking altogether. The building had noticed me. Or worse, it had been told to. The cat scratched at my door one night. Loud. Persistent. I didn't open it. I packed a bag instead. They didn't arrest me dramatically. No guns, no shouting. Just a car that followed me for 3 streets before stopping gently beside me. "Mr. Kade," a voice said, "we need to talk." Later, in a quiet room, someone mentioned patterns, call times, building access. And then, almost casually, the cat. "You know," the man said, "animals are very sensitive to repetition." I almost laughed. That's when I knew it was over. I was deported quietly. No trial, no headlines. Just erased from one country and returned to another system that didn't ask questions as long as you stopped answering them. I never worked intelligence again. Not because I felt guilty, but because I learned something important. The world doesn't collapse because of great betrayals. It collapses because of tiny, overlooked witnesses. A repeated phrase, a familiar shadow, A cat that watched too much. My name is Jonah Kade. And sometimes the thing that ends you is the thing you never bothered to notice. This is the lives of Jonah Kade. Subscribe to follow the journey, because every life holds a lesson, and every survival comes with a cost.